Hello, welcome to the place where I spend most of my time outside of in the garage training, the kitchen. So today we're going to talk about protein. Whenever I give individuals nutritional advice or look at food diaries that they send me, typically they undereat on protein. Females, I'm looking at you especially because you guys really undereat on it. Firstly, what is protein? Protein is basically a macronutrient that is required by the body to build muscle and repair muscle. So when you exercise, you tend to break down muscle fiber. So if you're doing resistance training, you break down muscle fiber. What protein does, it then comes back into the body when you eat it, and it rebuilds that muscle into bigger, stronger muscles, ideally, as long as your calorie goal is intact and your protein is at the adequate amount. What is the adequate amount of protein? Typically, for me personally, I tend to put it at 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So for me, at this moment in time, I'm about 210 pounds. So I try to get above 210 grams of protein, only because I'm looking to build muscle. Now, it's actually supposed to be 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight. So for example, if you're grossly overweight and you have a large fat mass, I wouldn't typically put you up, say you're 300 pounds in weight, it's not all muscle, then I wouldn't put you at 300 grams of protein a day, because typically you're going to have quite a high percentage of body fat. So if I put it at 1 gram per pound of body weight though, it typically gives people about 20 grams to play with. If they undereat by 20 grams, they're still going to hit the threshold that I want them to in order to help to repair muscle fiber, as we already talked about, and in order for them to build new muscle fiber. Females as well as males, I'm not talking about bodybuilding and getting manly, I'm just talking about making sure that your body is efficient at restoring your muscles after exercise, repairing them, rebuilding them, making sure you don't get too sore following exercise, and ensuring that you are just eating an adequate amount for daily optimal functioning as well. So protein, they're amino acids. That's what the body utilizes to rebuild muscle. So the body can actually create, there's 20 amino acids in total, and the body can create 11 of these by itself. 9 of these, however, it cannot create, so they need to come from your diet. These are known as essential amino acids, and each different food containing protein will have a different spectrum of amino acids. The higher the spectrum of amino acids that you intake through your diet, the better and more optimal your body will function, because it's getting all 20 of the amino acids that it needs. So if you eat meat, typically, you will get a wide spectrum of amino acids. You'll probably cover every single one of them. Same with dairy and whey protein. They again have a full spectrum of amino acids. If you're a vegetarian, you probably are missing a few, so you have to eat quite a broad range of protein sources in order to achieve the 20 amino acids within your diet. So these amino acids, they're the building blocks. That's what you need to think about. They're the building blocks of your body. They build the foundations for the rest of your body to function. So if you're not getting these on board, then you are basically trying to build a house without putting the foundations down first. It's just going to crumble. So you need to ensure that protein is met first and foremost in your diet before you then start looking at other macronutrients. What is the best source of protein in your diet? Typically, your probably best bet is to go for lean proteins. So things like turkey or chicken breast, extremely lean, very, very low amounts of fat. You're talking like per 100 grams, they've got about 1 gram of fat in. These are really, really good, easy to get in, easy to cook. You can cook them with herbs and spices, you can bake them, you can grill them, so really easy to cook. Tuna, again, I've got it in a can because it's just easy to use, so you can just undo a can or take a can with you if you're traveling. Have it in spring water, not olive oil, because obviously if it's got fats in it, then it's going to alter the calorie content. So you want to try and get as lean a protein as possible to just make it as much of a protein that your body can absorb without having other calories involved with fats or carbs. Genetic supplements, BioWeight, best on the market in terms of protein powder, in my opinion. Why? Because it's grass-fed cows, it's highly filtered, it tastes amazing, it mixes well, gives you no digestive problems. It's basically 3 ingredients, which is the whey from the cow's milk, a sweetener which is actually done with stevia, and then a flavouring. So I highly recommend this protein powder. It's got it's got no fats in it, no carbs, pretty much just all protein. Really good, really tasty, really highly easy effective. Like, put it in a shaker, 1 scoop, 16 grams of protein, add some water to it, chug it, there we go. 16 grams of protein. It's not going to fill you up, it's not going to bog you down, it doesn't have to take any time, you can take it with you. So highly recommend this. I've also got yogurt as well, so that's 0% fat Greek yogurt. Again, this does have some carbs in it, so for a small 170 pot you've got about 7 grams of carbs, no fat obviously, but it does have 17.5 grams of protein. So again, that's a really good one to get on board and just add it into your diet as a snack. My favourites, so Hex chicken sausages. Not all sausages are created equal, so a lot of the pork ones, they contain a high amount of fat. What does that mean? That basically means that if you're eating them for protein, then you're going to get a hell of a lot of calories from fats as well. So you need to make sure that you moderate what you're doing with regards to your fats, i.e. if your calories aren't very big, I would recommend eating lean protein sources, chicken breast, turkey breast, tuna, whey protein, fat-free Greek yogurt, Hex sausages, which are very low fat chicken sausages. For 2 chicken sausages, you are looking at 72 calories, 1.6 gram of fat, 1 gram of carbohydrates, and about 13 grams of protein. So they're really good, tasty food to have, that you probably won't include in your diet if you don't look to buy them, because you'll think sausages are high in fat and therefore high in calories. Grill them as well, and obviously less calories that way. So if you haven't got a large amount of calories to play with, or your fats are already taken care of with other fats like avocados, oils, etc., then look for lean protein sources such as the chicken breast, turkey breast, Greek yogurt, whey protein, tuna, cod as well is fantastic. Prawns, again, very low fat, high protein, which you can probably include in your diet. You can still eat fat-containing proteins. Let's put these to one side. So, typically, beef, pork, lamb, that all is a fattier cut of protein, so you're going to get some fat involved, but there are better choices than others. If you're looking to eat lamb, unfortunately, a high amount of lamb has a high amount of fat. Same with pork. You can get loin steaks with pork, again cut the fat off and you'll reduce the calories and it'll be pretty much protein. But if you're looking at like pork belly, and even chicken thighs and turkey thighs, it's going to be high amounts of fat, which will affect your overall calories for the day. So these are lean strips of beef, so pretty much very low fat. I think they've got 4 grams of fat per 100 grams, but they've got about 22 grams of protein per 100 grams. Same with like sirloin and rump steak. It's about the same. You've got per 100 grams, you're looking at about 2 to 3 grams of fat, and again about 20 to 25 grams of protein. Grill it or cook it in the oven or on the barbecue, and it will obviously not alter the amount of fat that you're getting in your diet, so don't cook it with additional fats, and you lower the calorific content. Fatty fish such as salmon and mackerel, they are really good sources of protein, really good sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for brain function and optimal cell functioning. However, obviously if you've got fats in your protein source, then it's going to add calories. So for a 100 gram piece of salmon, you're probably looking at about 20 grams of protein, and you're looking at about 10 grams of fat. So that's something to bear in mind when it comes to choosing proteins. A lot of people will think that just because it's a meat, therefore the fats in it, you don't have to calculate into your daily calorie allowance, but you do. So if you're eating fattier cuts of meat, remember that they're going to be higher in the calorie limits than lean proteins. Take away the fat, take away calories, is what you need to think about. Eggs. Now, people typically think about eggs as a very good protein source, which they are, but again, if you eat a whole egg, it's typically about 70 calories for an egg. It contains about 6 grams of protein, and it will contain about 4 to 5 grams of fat depending on the size of the egg. Take the yolk away and you're looking at about 15 calories per egg white and about 3.5 grams of protein. No fat, no carbs. So if you again are conscious about the amount of fat that you're eating in your diet, or you want to eat your fat through other means, don't eat the yolks, use the whites only. But if you've got calories to play with, then again eat the yolks as well as the whites, and you're going to have a nutrient-packed breakfast fats and protein. Just remember, whites, you take away the fat, so you reduce the calories, you just pretty much have protein. If you leave the yolks in, you've got fats as well as protein. For a whole egg, 6 grams of protein. So if you're looking for about 30 grams of protein per meal, you've got to eat a lot of eggs. And if you're eating a lot of eggs, you're probably going to get a lot of fat along with it. So those of you who have like 4 eggs in the morning, don't track the fat for it, but just take that as 24 grams of protein. Then you probably want to have, again, start tracking your calories and make sure that you're not overdoing the fats and underdoing the protein. So they're your fattier sources of protein. What about for vegetarians? So they're not obviously going to get protein that we are, apart from maybe on eggs. So veggies, you know, eat your eggs, really, really good source of protein. But aside from the eggs, you probably think I'm going crazy now. However, per 100 grams of vegetables, certain vegetables, mainly cruciferous vegetables, they will contain about 3 to 4 grams of protein per 100 grams. So if you're eating a lot of vegetables, as a vegetarian you should be, you will get some protein involved from those vegetables. So even if you're not a vegetarian, eating foods like broccoli, like Brussels sprouts, will boost your protein content over the day. They're obviously very low calorie as well. Then we get into things like oats and rice. So these are both commonly known as carb sources, which they are, but you know, per 100 grams of oats, yeah, you're getting 64 grams of carbs, so it is a high carb source. However, you've got 11 grams of protein. So if you're a veggie and you're eating porridge in the morning and you're having some eggs on the side of that, that's a good start for you. Rice, not as great, so it's only got about 3 grams of protein per 100 grams. It's quite a high carb source, but I thought I'd throw it in there just to show you different sources for different quantities. So these are very low protein, obviously these two are high carb, so they're not advised for me to use them as a protein source. I'm just showing you different aspects, because you can't, if they don't eat meat, it's very difficult for me to tell them what to eat, which is high in protein outside of things which will contain carbs. Same for these, so butter beans and chickpeas, again, you're looking at a carb source as well as a protein source. So for half a can, it's 20 grams of carbs, but it does have 10 grams of protein. I wouldn't, again, classify it as a very good source of protein, but it's got it in it. Same for like butter beans and any sort of beans and pulses as well. It's about 7 grams of protein per half can, but again, it contains about 15 grams of carbs, minimal fats in those two. So they're another way to boost up. So say you're going to have a salad for lunch and you want to throw some protein in, and you're a vegetarian, chickpeas and butter beans, they're pretty good ways to go just to boost up your protein. A few other things to talk about protein wise, because people typically will say, what about milk? If you're not lactose intolerant, milk is a really good source of protein. Not great. So per 200 millilitres you're looking at about 7 grams of protein. However, again, it's got about 10 grams of carbs in it. So you've got to drink a lot of milk in order to hit your protein needs for a day. And if you drink a lot of milk, then you're typically going to be drinking a lot of carbs along with it. So don't use milk, in my opinion, as your go-to protein source. Use it wisely, so if you have to drink it post-workout, then use it. But again, track the macros, track the amount of carbs that you're getting from it. It's not just protein. Peanut butter and nuts and stuff like that I'm not including as a protein source because they're extremely high in fat and they're very easy to overeat. However, powdered peanut butter is my go-to, because it basically takes away the high majority of the fat. So for a serving you're looking at 53 calories, about 2 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs and 6 grams of protein. So for that it's pretty easy to fit into your macros. If you were to have a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter, you're looking at around about 100-120 calories, and the majority of that's coming from fats, a little bit of protein. So strip away the fat, use a powdered version, mix it with water, and again then you can start looking at increasing, like little tweaks to increase the amount of protein in your diet. That's a good one, that's a good sort of hack for protein. So just to cover what we've talked about already, best ways to do or to get more protein in your diet is to look for the lean sources: chicken breast, turkey breast, heck chicken sausages, egg whites, cod, haddock, prawns. They're like your go-tos. Fat-free Greek yogurt as well. And then just make sure that if you are going to be having fattier cuts of protein, which don't get me wrong, they are amazing, I eat them on a regular basis, just take into account how much fat is actually in them and how it's going to affect your daily calorie needs. So track your food, weigh your food, and actually realise what you're eating and how much of it you're eating, and it will give you a much easier way to measure your progress. So if you're not measuring and you're wondering why you're not seeing results, it's probably time to start doing it. Especially if you're training hard, if you're not feeding your body with enough protein to rebuild and energize it, then your workouts will be hampered, your recovery will be hampered, and you won't reach your results as quickly and effectively. So protein is a must for everyone. Whatever your goals, just make sure that you're getting a wide spectrum of different protein sources. Don't eat the same things every day. Give your body a chance to have to break down different amino acids and utilize them for fuel, rebuilding, repairing muscles, and you'll be winning. So if anyone's got any questions on this, I will be bringing out another video on the 2 other macronutrients, carbohydrates and fats, in time, which will give you an idea of what you can eat with those. But if you've got any questions on protein after this video, then please do message me, and I will try my best to answer them and help you understand. But I hope you found this video useful. Eat your protein, make sure it's about 1 gram per pound of body weight, give or take about 20 grams, and you'll be winning. So thanks for watching, and we'll speak soon.